Hello, welcome to this tropical update for the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific. So let's see. We still have this area in the Atlantic from yesterday. It's now at a 30% chance of formation. So let's see. An area of disturbed weather over the central tropical Atlantic Ocean is expected to interact with an approaching tropical wave during the next several days. Development of this system is possible while it approaches the Lesser Antilles during the early to middle part of next week and moves generally west-northwest near the Greater Antilles towards the latter part of the next week. So 0% next 2 days, 30% next 7 days. So yeah, it's already at 30% there. So let's see what we might get from this. So first, some operational models. Let's see, the European is showing that low pressure system in the ocean there, uh, kind of affecting the northeast layer with some rain, and the disturbance there, it keeps going towards the Caribbean there, but this run is so short. So the 0Z from today, it has the disturbance there going, and then it kind of forms something in the Bahamas and goes to the southeastern US. But this run is really crazy. It's actually forming a tropical depression already in the Bahamas by August 3rd, and then forming a tropical storm just to the north of the Bahamas, passing very near the southeast there. So this will be by August 5th. We would have a tropical storm there, according to this run. But there are many runs, so don't get confused. So let's see. The GFS was showing some little signs too. So it has the tropical wave approaching there, but not really any big formation. So the operational GFS still doesn't have anything. But that was the 12Z. Let's see the 0Z from today. You had the wave approaching there, and the 0Z GFS from today had a tropical depression forming the Gulf by August 4th there, and maybe getting to tropical storm. So the 0Z run from today had a tropical storm going to Mississippi and Alabama there, and Louisiana by August 5th. So this is also by August 5th. So the Euro had it near the coast of the southeast, and the GFS has it in the Gulf. So it's another possibility, but I think it's more likely near the southeast there, and then it goes there and nothing else later. But the GFS is starting to show some signs of development too. And the Canadian, it has the tropical disturbance approaching there, but it's just like the GFS, it's getting it to go to the south of Cuba and not go through the Bahamas like the European. So, and then it goes just south of Cuba, turns into a tropical storm in the Gulf, and the Canadian is actually having a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. This would be a hurricane by August 6th there, making landfall in the Gulf. So I don't trust this, especially this strength, but you never know. The Canadian has a hurricane there, but I still think it will go towards the southeast, near the Bahamas, but I guess we'll see. So let's see the icon. I don't think it has anything, but let's see. It has the wave approaching there, but not really anything forming. And the Nevgen has the wave approaching there and not really forming, just some rain. So, but the European, the GFS, and the Canadian already have development. So let's see here. So this is the tropical storm probabilities. So this is tropical storm strike probabilities. So the extended range. So they have some probabilities already in Florida, the Bahamas there, in the beginning of August as that system comes. So that's like the 29th through August 5th, so they have some probabilities there. And since this is the extended range, so later by August 12th and 10th, it shows more probabilities through the East Coast, through the Gulf, and later by August 19th, still shows some stuff, but yeah, it currently has those probabilities for this system. But this is one thing. Now this is another thing. So this tropical cyclone activity probabilities, including genesis, so like probability of tropical cyclone genesis, like the formation of cyclonic storms, tropical storms. So like generally just tropical cyclones. So these are the tropical storm probabilities here, as some lighter ones from that system there, but as we get closer, by August 2nd, it already has some probabilities there, and the probabilities kind of increase near the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos there. By August 3rd, the tropical storm probabilities, so more probabilities through the Bahamas into Florida, and then the higher probabilities that extend through Florida to the southeast, and then in even parts of the Gulf, still some tropical storm probabilities by August 6th, and then those probabilities go towards the East Coast there, still some in the Gulf, but mainly the East Coast by August 7th, and then by August 8th, more in the East Coast there, the probabilities. So this is like tropical storm probabilities, but if I put here tropical cyclone probabilities, like generally like just tropical cyclones, so this would be like tropical depression probabilities, so like any tropical cyclone. Sometimes it shows a lot of probabilities here because it's like any cyclone genesis, but we'll focus on the main signs. So in the Eastern Pacific, it's going crazy, showing some very high probabilities there, but in the Atlantic, you see as this wave gets closer, it already has some moderate probabilities there. So let's see if there's the color here. No, but so it already has some moderate probabilities there, and then this is by July 31st already, and then by August 1st, take a look at this. So it already has some very high probabilities just north of the Lesser Antilles of tropical cyclone formation, but it's like cyclone genesis, so that could be just like a strong low pressure disturbance, like not a full-fledged cyclone yet. But yeah, so let's see. So August 1st and August 2nd, the probabilities increase even more throughout the southwestern Atlantic, especially near Puerto Rico, near the northeastern Caribbean. So this is by August 2nd. It has some very high probabilities there. So, and then by August 3rd, those probabilities shift towards the Bahamas and Florida, still showing some very high probabilities there of tropical cyclone genesis, so like tropical depression probabilities. And August 3rd, and then by August 4th, it still shows a smaller area, but still some very high probabilities there of cyclone genesis. By August 5th, shows a little bit smaller, a little bit less probabilities, but more in the Bahamas, Florida, and some areas there. By August 6th, shows more in the southeast, throughout the Gulf and East Coast. And August 7th, still shows some probabilities there, and August 8th. But this model is really hinting on this area, right as it passes through the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and southwestern Atlantic there. So in this model run, we really think we could have something in that area. But this like tropical cyclone genesis, so this doesn't necessarily mean something is going to form, it's just some probabilities. So don't get too caught up on this thinking something will form up 100%, because we are still some days out. This is just a forecast. But let's see some ensembles here. So wait, okay, here's so this the European ensemble, and this is still the C. Is this the 12C already? Okay, I think this is the 12C. let's see, so until July 30th shows some little dots there, like nothing, and by August 1st it already shows more members there, showing tropical depression strength and maybe tropical storm. But let's see, by August 3rd it already shows a lot of members there, especially through the Bahamas, and some greens there that's like tropical storm strength, like weak tropical storm strength, and the dark blue is like just tropical depression strength, because it's between 30 and 40 knots, and tropical storm starts at 40 knots, if I'm right. So the blues are like generally tropical depression, but there are some greens there hinting at a tropical storm, and even a member showing yellow there hidden behind all the other ones. So let's see. And then until the end of this run, by August 6th, it shows one or two members in the Gulf for tropical depression or storm there, and even shows a hurricane, if you can believe it, even showing a hurricane there. But most members go towards the southeast, not towards but near, and they pass just right by the coast and go out to the Atlantic. So there are a lot of greens showing there, so that will be tropical storm, many blues like tropical depression, and later on shows even some oranges, possible strong tropical storm or hurricane. But the orange is technically still a tropical storm, because 60 to 70 knots, yeah, maybe that's a low-end hurricane. So yeah, a lot of support there for something forming up. So let's see. Let's see the GFS. So this is the European here. The GFS to 240 hours. It's also showing some stuff way less than the European, but it's still showing some stuff. So the GFS has some tropical depression probabilities throughout the Gulf, but mainly through Florida, especially this member here that kind of forms a tropical storm there, and then it kind of goes towards Florida, even getting to a strong tropical storm there. But that's only one member. Let's see. It has some other members showing maybe tropical storm near the southeast, but there's way less support than in the European. But there are some members starting to show some signs. Even later, it's starting to show the main development region, the Caribbean, maybe something coming. But yeah, let's see. What else? Yes. So this is mainly it, I think. So let's see what we have in the Eastern Pacific. So in the next 7 days, we have two areas there. Alright, an area at 50% chance of development there. And so let's see, it has an area of low pressures forecast to form by the middle part of next week, a few hundred miles off the coast of southern Mexico. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system. A tropical depression could form during the middle or latter part of next week. The system is forecast to move to west-northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour, roughly parallel to the coast of Mexico. So 50% chance the next 7 days. So I think this won't hit anyone, but we have to watch this, just in case it decides to go north towards the Baja or anything else. But nothing crazy. Another disturbance there at 30%, so another area of low pressure could form over the middle part of next week, and well southwest to the southern tip of Baja California Peninsula. Some slow development of the system is possible during the middle to latter part of next week, while it moves westward to west-northwestward across the western portion of the basin. Formation chance next 2 days 0, 7 days 30%. So be aware there. Nothing crazy, but some systems trying to form. Central Pacific, nothing. And let's see here. Some models too. Here. For the Eastern Pacific, the GFS is kind of crazy for there, but it has this system forming up pretty fast on the Eastern Pacific and rapidly strengthening to a very strong hurricane. So that will be like a Cat 4 hurricane there, so don't trust this. It's doing its GFS crazy thing, but very crazy. Look, two major hurricanes in a row there, so the GFS like totally drunk there in the Eastern Pacific, but just be aware. But this system also has a high probability of forming in other models as well. So the GFS takes this out to sea, and then it forms this next system there just off the coast and takes it out to sea as well, maybe curving north later. But that's the GFS. Let's see that the European, yes, maybe it's a low pressure there trying to form, maybe later, but by July 31st, it has like a weak system there trying to form in the Eastern Pacific. But let's see here, the zero C, so wait, yes, so it forms something there in the Eastern Pacific, but only after August 6th there it tries to form something. But the Canadian is also like, whoa, so let's see here, it forms that system there, it generally goes towards the open ocean, maybe another short-lived system there, and then it forms this other system later by August 4th and strengthens more and goes towards the ocean there, but nothing heading towards land for now, but be aware there. So let's see some things here. So the rainfall forecast in the next, let's see, in the next 60 hours, so until Tuesday, the GFS has more rain in Central America, more rain in Venezuela, some higher totals, more rain in Belize, more in Nicaragua, Honduras, Mexico there, especially southern Mexico. So I think this is the Canadian or something. So let's see the European better. So the next 60 hours until Tuesday has more rain through Central America, like, let's see here, more rain in parts of Venezuela, Colombia, more in Mexico, some higher totals in southern Mexico, more through Nicaragua, Honduras there. So be aware of those tropical downpours continuing there. So let's see. So let's put this a little bit further, like through 93 hours. So let's see, and then later has more rain in Venezuela, more in southern Mexico there, and more areas. But let's put this even further here. So this is until Wednesday, next Wednesday. So it has more rain for Costa Rica, some heavier areas, more in southern Mexico, more for Honduras, northwestern Nicaragua, other areas of Nicaragua, more in southern Guatemala and El Salvador. Let's see some more in Bermuda. And as this system comes, start getting more in the northeastern Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago more. So until Wednesday, expect more showers, maybe some thunderstorms in the northeastern Caribbean, more in Hispaniola, in Cuba, some storms. Let's see, more in the Bahamas, and yeah, be aware of the heavier rains there in Central America and some rains and storms in other areas. So this is it. We'll keep you updated. Stay safe.